back, guys, to another episode of King Schmuck's Drama of the Week. I know it's been a while since I made one of these videos, but trust me, guys, this week's drama has been insane. We've got so much to talk about. We have two breaking news segments. First one obviously being 60GT disbanding, which I guess you should all probably know by now, given the flux of videos that have come out regarding this. And most importantly, the other segment, which is 2489 and 1365 KVK, where allies are in complete disagreement on who gets the star. After multiple tries to solve this diplomatically, this Kingsland might end up in a huge mess. Like, guys, you don't actually understand. This has gone beyond diplomatic solution. And I knew about this situation for over 4 days now, but I've been keeping it really discreet because I was waiting for something to kick off. But now it's just way too late. Both camps are stationed for war. Pilots have been alerted for potential breakout. And of course, this is going all on public record now, which makes the situation completely out of hand. And obviously, I'm here to give you guys the juiciest details of it all. I also reached out to both 1365 and 2489's leadership to get some exclusive interviews that I will be showing you guys in this video. So let's not waste any more time and let's get to the story itself. Now, for me to explain why this situation has become too chaotic, we first need to go back to the KVK where 1365 and 2489 had to spin the wheel for the star. 1365 and 2489 had previous disputes regarding a KVK where they had once allied. They decided to settle the dispute by spinning the wheel to determine who wins the star. Despite 1365 winning in DKP when this happened, 2489 had their argument at that point regarding some zones not being contributed to fairly, but that's beyond the point. 1365 also won the wheel spin, and the public knew about this situation very well. But what the public didn't know is that there is a clause in this agreement that indicates that whoever loses the star in this wheel spin scenario, if 1365 and 2489 were to ally in the future, the star will automatically go to the losing party from the wheel spin, which ended up being 2489. Now, this information was obviously kept hidden from the public because it may cause a negative effect on both 2489 and 1365 in their next KVK. Like, imagine the players in the alliance in those kingdoms knew that they were fighting, but they weren't actually going to get the star at the end, even if they win. Now, fast forward to this current KVK matchup where initially 2489 proposed a top versus bottom scenario, which was denied by the other two parties. 2489 and 1365 ended up allying and winning their Kingsland. But now this is where the issues lie. 2489 and 1365's camps did not discuss the star at the beginning again, which now caused this huge problems to what determines the star for this KVK. At the very end of that Kingsland, 2489 proposed that Pass 7 and Kingsland DKP to determine the star. However, 1365 found this as 2489 conveniently picking and choosing stats that allow them to be on top in terms of DKP. 1365 disagreed and wanted their Zone 5 contributions to be included, which obviously puts them on top in terms of DKP. 2489 pulled out the previous agreement as part of their negotiations to let 1365 know that they did have a prior agreement where 2489 should automatically get the star if they ever ally again in KVK. 1365's argument was that this would not be fair on their campmates, 2902, who obviously contributed a lot in that KVK, and 2489 is very aware that 2902 will feel some type of way regarding this, but from their perspective, they believe that it was 1365's responsibility to let their campmates know about the spinning wheel deal before allying in this KVK. Now, 1365 released a statement regarding this chaotic diplomacy and have demanded for this agreement to go forth that Arvix, the leader of 2489, must issue an apology to 1365's camp or this deal will not go through. Whether Arvix apologizes to solve this issue peacefully or not is not confirmed at all, but all I know is that both camps are building towards each other in Kingsland and are preparing in case things kings off. And 2489 did let 1365 know that they should take the Chronicle because 2489 will try to get the star at the very end and they will hold the Zig. Now, obviously, for me to confirm a lot of these things, I did do an interview with some of the leaders of 2489, and here are some of the responses via voice.
No, it was not. Given previous agreements, we both agreed to the fact that disclosing it to even our kingdoms would be a disbenefit, as obviously one party would know, hey, we get the star, we don't need to do anything, and the other party is demotivated because they don't get it anyway. So, given that agreement, it didn't make sense to disclose it in any way. What we think, though, is that at some point, if you owe someone something, you should probably disclose it and be honest about the obligations you have to deal with, and it's not our responsibility to do so. We did not have any discussion at all. At some point, I asked someone from the other camp in a private message if there are agreements, what they think about sticking to you, and I was recommended to seek an official channel if I want to discuss them. So I did not, and so didn't they either. Given the current stance of people, that for once isn't about 2489, it's specifically about Arvix. Arvix has not made clear his intentions yet. I'll be honest about that. But at the same time, I want to hint to the idea that a diplomacy conversation is heated in both ways. Both parties said things they probably shouldn't have. It got disrespectful at times. Maybe it's also part of a game sometimes. And if you're so pushing for an apology, maybe you should apologize too. Or no one does, and we split parts. We part our ways. But it shouldn't be one-sided. It's just feeling like they force a humiliation for something they don't particularly are obligated to get. The short answer is that was the way it went, yes. But let's not beat around the bush. I think everyone with some understanding of rhetoric and how conversations are handled understand that you don't push out DAs out of your sleeve right away. Save accused us of that in diplomacy, and I told him exactly the same I just told you, and she was like, oh, I agree. Why bring it up to begin with then? What answer did you expect? Obviously, we tried to offer ways that would make it easier for them to not have to tell their campmate, we have some obligations to 2489 that we should follow up to. So yes, we offered other ways, and then after they didn't want to pick any of those, we obviously decided to remind them of the obvious. Part of it is to not be disclosed as far as I'm concerned. But in general, it's about benefits we speak to 2902, such as rewards in this KVK or little actions we do. But overall, there are parts that we're not supposed to disclose for now. And that's about all I can say. As for the parts that might break this deal, is that 1365 asks for an apology without offering one themselves. And I'll be honest with you, 1365 made this out to be about 2902, and that they can't follow up with their agreements because of 2902. And it's quite ironic that at this point, the only thing not leading to a decision is 1365 themselves. But instead, they decide to go ramble on the internet.
And there you have it, guys. This is the current situation at hand. I did try my best to get an interview with 1365 leaders, but it is extremely difficult to do so, and only their regular members were responding to me with their side of the story and the announcements that were sent in their Discord. I will definitely be streaming this if a fight occurs in Kingsland. From what I was told, 1875 will not get involved in this mess, so it will be a 1v1 in that Kingsland in case it happens, and I will be streaming that. Also, I will be streaming talking to my boy Furious about this situation. As you guys know, he is currently in 1365, so we're going to be doing a duo stream in case anything kicks off. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I was just in this video in trying to show both sides of the story. Obviously, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.